No matter how many wonderful corners we visit, there will always be one favorite place that we still want to come back. We have such a place in Norway, and I have never told you about it before. You will be surprised, but this is not Lofoten, and not other wonderful places in the north of Norway. Maybe it's a bit too cold here. It's worth seeing, but you don't want to come back here. And it's not one of those famous places in Norway. Neither Prekestelen nor troll stairs, troll walls, churches or troll tongues or other parts of a troll's body. It's a place where peace and the forces of nature meet, where the mountains rise up as if to cover the sun, but it still finds cracks to illuminate all the valleys and fill them with life. This place on the map of Norway looks like a white patch, a huge piece of ice. This glacier feeds many valleys with emerald lakes and meandering rivers. And on one edge, we find an easily accessible patch of paradise. This is the Strin region. The most fascinating thing here is the ecosystem and landscape created by the glacier, and especially the emerald lakes. There are 3 lakes in this region worth visiting. Let's start with Lake Opstrin, which attracts not so much with its color, but with its enchanting atmosphere. It is worth driving here only when there is no wind. Of course, the high mountains surrounding the lake dampen the wind, but you should check it before you arrive. Otherwise, you will miss this kingdom of mirrors. It is especially impressive in spring, when the peaks of the mountains are still covered with snow. You can admire the lake by simply passing by the road and stopping a couple of times. But I would advise you to visit the town of Gjella, an oasis of such a kind of meditation. And if you want and like to walk, be sure to climb up to Segestad farmhouse. This is an ancient homestead of the local area, where you will see how people lived before, and here you can admire Lake Opstrin from above. You can find more beautiful places around the lake. You just have to explore. There is even a white sand beach leading to a small island. From this lake, we descend along the winding river to the town of Strin. By the way, the winding river is only visible from the drone, so you probably won't notice it. We ate in the town, filled up with gas, and continued driving. We don't stay in cities because nature is the essence. The second stop is probably the fastest growing in popularity and most admired place. This is Lake Lofoten. I wanted to say a valley, but there is no valley here. It is all filled with a deep lake, next to which only a narrow one-way road can fit. The lake has become famous for its brilliant green color, which it turns in July. It is the deposits of glacial water that give it such a distinctive color. But I like this lake the most because of its calmness. It is so calm here that you can even hear the avalanches and rocks falling high in the mountains. While walking, the question arises as to why this place has remained unknown for so long. There are no settlements here, and traditional houses are only now being built. The answer lies in that oppressive silence. It seems that something unexpected is about to happen, and those creaking mountains will call disaster. It is true that there were settlers here 100 years ago, but one equally amazing day. A 50,000 cubic meter stone fell from the mountain slope, and another 300,000 cubic meters of rock fell. All this poured into the deep lake with great force and caused a tidal wave about 40 meters high. Then half of the inhabitants of this valley died. The remaining people did not give up. They rebuilt the town, but in vain, because 30 years later, an even bigger rock, about 1 million cubic meters, and caused a wave 75 meters high, killing even more people. After these events, most of the people moved out, only isolated homesteads remained. But now everything is expanding again, especially camping sites and summer houses are being built. Everything seems calm again, although the mountains are still rustling and crunching. These landslides are considered one of the worst natural disasters in Norway. What to do when you come here? The mountains here are too steep for hiking, but the glacier can almost be reached by car, even in 2 places. By the way, there are also hikes starting from the lake, for example, to an old shieling, but the view opens to the fjord, not the lake. One of these shielings has survived on the shore of the lake. An idyllic image of ancient Norway. Most often, such shielings are located higher in the mountains, at an altitude of around 200 to 300 meters. During the summer, when the snow melted, areas of fresh grass opened up and shepherds with their animals moved here. Now, such shielings look like from fairy tale books. The roofs of the houses are covered with grass, and from the mountain there are often wonderful views of the fjords. And finally, the third lake, Oldenvatnet, which is located in the Olden Valley. The lake is just as beautiful, and in the summer it turns the same eye-catching color as Lovatnet. There are more hikes to be found in this valley, but be prepared for a steep and fairly short climb, up to 1 kilometer in height. Of course, from the top, as it should be, you will be rewarded with extraordinary views of the valley, lakes, and maybe even glaciers. But there is an easier way to see the glacier. At the very end of the valley, there is an access to the glacier that is very well adapted for tourists. A bus will even take you from the parking lot if you are too lazy or unable to walk the 3 kilometers to the glacier. Unfortunately, it will not be possible to touch the glacier because the ice has receded as much as 800 meters in the last 30 years. So it hangs quite high on the mountainside. But you will see the color of the ice, and you will definitely feel the breath of the glacier. Here's what one of our favorite places in Norway looks like. By the way, the landscape and mood here are also different in different seasons. It is very important to be here in good weather, so that the region can be revealed in all its beauty. That's it for this time. And don't forget to travel, because once you've tasted travel, you can't stop.